Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Good afternoon. Yes, it is lunchtime Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B. We got Will Vogel. Good afternoon, JB. Hope all is well. I'm just chilling to work because I work back to back 7 hours and 30-minute shifts. So today is chill, like I said. Davey says, good afternoon, JB. One Pride and Moonscar Blade says lunchtime is upon us. So we did have a total of 11 games that's been played. Eight of them were one-score games. The Bucks got beat on a missed thing, but they got beat by one score. We might be. We could be, but we all got to play each other still. We don't play the Vikings till week 7. We don't play the Packers till week 9. We don't play the Bears till week 12. It could happen. Vikings are the surprise team. They're 5-0, just like their record in London. Every game they played in London, they've won. So that didn't bode well for the Jets. The Bears whooped the hell out of the NFL's second bye week, known as the Panthers. The Commanders tore the Browns a new butthole. The Dolphins got by the Patriots. There's a surprise. The Jaguars beat the Colts. They got off the over. There's no 0 teams in the NFL anymore. The Texans got by the Bills. The Ravens got by the Bengals in overtime, which that was a shitty overtime if you watched it. Oh my God, it was bad. A bad hold made Justin Tucker miss the first field goal. Then they get a turnover and go the other way and win it. It was just awful. They should have never tried that long field goal for the Bengals. They should have drove down the field. The Cardinals eked by the 49ers. That was a surprise win, but it is what it is. It's a rivalry game. Sometimes teams show out. The Giants beat the Seahawks. Every team that's faced the Lions so far have not won the game after. Yep, they did. And guess what? They put up 333 yards against you, too. So they gave 100 yards in the ground. Geno Smith wasn't Geno Smith again. You guys sacked the crap out of him, if I remember right? Yeah, you had 7 sacks in the game. Both teams punted 4 times in that game. You guys just made the most of your red zone opportunities. It is looking that way. I still can't say it's going to happen. The Packers squeaked by the Rams. It wasn't pretty. I mean, the Rams had more yards. They had more yards passing. They had more yards rushing. They had more first downs. They had a better third down efficiency. They had a better fourth down efficiency. Both teams punted a lot. The time of possession was 5 minutes to the favor of the Rams. The problem is, yeah, 7. Like, where was that? Washington is a great story, and I said they'd be the surprise team of this league. And Minnesota's right up there with them. I don't care what anybody says. Minnesota and Washington are the two surprise teams. No, he wanted them to lose. He kept telling me, "God damn it, I need them to lose." Oh, it was funny. And the Cowboys eked one out versus the Steelers. That's the surprising one to me. Justin Fields didn't throw a pick again. Prescott's one of the first QBs to win throwing the ball more than 40 times. Something to be said about that. But Dowdle came out and looked decent. Tolbert was his best receiver. If you'd have told me Jalen Tolbert was going to be better than CD Lamb in the game, I'd have said you were knucking butt. Yeah, Von Doom said he won. How about them cards? Yeah. Vikings versus Jeff was ref ball. I don't care. Uh, the Colts are a bad team, guys. Let's face it. They barely beat the Bears. Um, it is what it is. Yep, right now the Vikings are the best team in the NFL because they're doing it with defense and complementary offense. This was their ugly game. The offense wasn't rolling right. So they had to have the defense win the game. And Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers of old. It almost looked like he said, "Screw it, Kirby Joseph is down there somewhere." And the Bungles bungled. Yes. I think it's more surprising that the Bungles have one win than it is that the Browns have one win. They've got all that talent on both sides of the ball, and none of it seems to be coming together. They just can't get a complete game out of their guys. That's what's surprising to me. So that's your review of what's happened this week. And tonight we got the Saints at the Chiefs. I think the refs win by 10. Before Rodgers retires, I want to see him throw a pick six to Kirby. Seeing how we don't play them. Right. It still helps us with seeding later down the road. All these games help with seeding. I think the Bills and Jets are. Adams just said after the game yesterday in an interview, the Jets are off my trade block. Just saying. Uh, Something to the effect that Rodgers looks a lot more like Minshew than like Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, that was said. Browns need to get rid of Watson. That's what needs to happen. I think they need to get rid of the whole coaching staff. Well, they have had some dominant performances, Fred. I'm not gonna go there because I've seen some dominant performances. I see Adams going to the Saints. I think they're gonna massage that cap room like it's Deshaun Watson with the Texans, and they're gonna make the room for him. And that'll be the push to put them above the Falcons. Just my opinion. Take it or leave it. Because right now, the Bucks and the Falcons have the same record. No, they won't trade with anybody in their division. They've already said that. They made that abundantly clear. But it's great to see everybody here in the chat. If they want a sure-handed receiver, they could always get Slant Boy. He'll be good for 8 games. Joseph Eston says, yo, Jeremy, 56 and sunny at the lake. Yeah, it's around 50-something here, too. Adam deserves to go to New England. He really does. He'd be humbled. Real quick. But, man, the Bears stomped the Panthers a new asshole. I'm not going to take anything from it. But at the same time, how bad are the Raiders to lose to the second bye week on their schedule? Nobody else has. Nobody. Even the Browns beat the fucking Panthers. Jeez, oh Pete. That's the second bye week on everybody's schedule that has them. Aaron Jones did get hurt in the game. There's no word on the injury yet. I'll cover injuries on Wednesday. As soon as I hear stuff. Caleb Williams did look like an NFL QB. Yeah, and it's a good thing he faced 2 bad defenses, Orlando. Right. It's more about what it says about the Raiders, Matt Henry. Yeah, I know the rumor is his hip. Until I see a solid report, though, I don't like buying into the rumor that stuff. I want to see what the MRI says. You know me, I'm not a rumor type of guy. As a Bears fan, I bought 0 stock in Swift. What did I say about Swift, Matt Henry? I said he's good if you get him in space, but he does go down at the first sign of contact. He doesn't normally break tackles, and if your O line doesn't open up holes for him, he would struggle. Yeah, prayers up for the Southeast. They're getting hammered by Helene. Isn't that the name of the hurricane? Helene, I think it is. They're getting hammered. Hammered by Helene. You know what I mean. Sorry, I went bad on that. Yep, it's going to be hush on Jones. They're going to keep that under wraps for a while until it has to come out. Because with the bye week, they don't have to announce it. And Swift being good makes the offense better, but it's been 2 weeks. He's had 2 good weeks. You know what usually happens after 2 good weeks with Swift? I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx him. Total of 30 touches in 2 weeks. I got my own opinion on that. Is Tevin Jenkins seriously hurt? I saw he went out of the game early. Or did he come back in? What was sad for me A guy that I like this draft, a combine darling, became a second or third round pick over it. Rice is out for the season. That was announced the day after the game last week. Trace is here. Thoughts on CMC? He may be done. He has tendonitis in both ankles. Yeah, it's crazy because my fiance and I talked about moving to Asheville 3 years ago. We had the house up on the market and we were in contact with the moving company. Oh, the Commanders went in and took care of business. The Dolphins beating the Patriots was probably the surprise of the week for me. A lot of miles on CMC. Yeah, I think CMC's career may be over too. Second time on the Madden covers, never good. Hawk has his 21-day window opening up. They're saying it looks like he may not be back to week 8. It looks like all field goals. Let me go back and double check that. I'll check that for you, but yeah, it looks like either all field goals. Well, Alex Ingold had a rushing touchdown. There was no receiving touchdowns, and the field goal went 3 for 4. So there's the 9 points. They missed their extra point. That's how they had 15. Well, there's the tail of the tape. They had 372 total yards, 179 passing yards, and 193 rushing yards. Hawkinson is the cursed Brady Bunch tiki doll idol. Beware. And what's crazy is the Patriots won the turnover battle. Miami lost a fumble and and threw an interception. Now, I know it's a really odd number to get. They they didn't get their extra point, so there's 6 plus 3 field goals. That's 9. Yes, the Foreskins, they are just continuing to roll. So let's look at the week 6 matchups now that we've gone through that. Okay, the Thursday night game is San Francisco at Seattle. Can we go for a tie? Jacksonville at Chicago. Arizona at Green Bay. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Houston at New England. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Cleveland at Philadelphia. There's going to be a good game. Philadelphia will probably win. Washington at Baltimore. There's a game that's going to be high scoring. I'm going to tell you right now. Chargers at Denver. Pittsburgh at Vegas. Detroit at Dallas. Atlanta at Carolina. Oh, Atlanta gets their bye week. Minnesota's on the bye week. Kansas City, LA Rams, and Miami. Atlanta at Carolina. If anybody chooses anybody other than Atlanta, they're wrong. Cincinnati at Giants. I'm taking the Giants. Cincinnati looks awful. Buffalo at New York Jets. That's a pick'em game for Monday Night Football. There's your there it is. Wow. Guess who was arrested Saturday night? Jabril Peppers. Yep. LOL Giants are going to go on a hot streak to end up with the high teens pick. Dallas got arrested. Detroit team pissed looking for revenge. It's going to be a bloodbath. Um, I'm going to look and see what Marshawn Nealon's injury is. That information should be out now. I know he was ruled out in the game, but there's no update yet there. Probably won't get anything till tomorrow on him. Um, it looked bad. Yes, I agree. Fred Peterson orgy for Heisman. No, not after last week. It's clear Michigan doesn't have good quarterback play. I said we'll be lucky to be an eight or nine win team this season. It's looking as such. No hate, no no fake stuff there. Man, I wish I didn't have to work today, but I get Saturday off because of it. So I'll take it. I do want to see something though. What's the earliest game on that Sunday? JL10, I think, is having his sophomore slump season. He's looking like doo doo. You talking about Jordan Love? Um, he just came off of an injury. One, I think they rushed him back from because they didn't want to have to trust Willis. Is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, Sam Darnold looked like the Sam Darnold of old. 14 and 31, 179 and a pick. Michigan will be very lucky to be ranked by season's end. I don't think they should be ranked now. I don't think they ever should have been. Justin Jefferson had an adequate game, 6 catches, 92 yards, 0 touchdowns. Jordan Addison, 0 touchdowns. Whoever this guy is, Johnny Munt, um, he had 2 catches for 31 yards. Aaron Jones had a catch for 24 yards. He also had 7 carries for 29 yards. Miles Gaskin had a catch for 11 yards, and Ty Chandler had 2 for 9. Not very stellar numbers. Army Navy still undefeated, and the Wolverines still in QB'd and uncoached. UnQB'd. Yeah, I know. I knew what you meant there, Brentowit. And Trey says, I don't think they should be ranked either. He also made that rookie mistake and threw that pick six when he was being sacked. Goff was still making those mistakes at the beginning of the season, but he will work through those. Yeah, Goff did that once. 100%. What a the game changing play was Alex Van Ginkel. You can't say enough about him. That kid's the real deal for the Vikings. But hey, I'm not the kiss of death for the Vikings. I'm just the kiss of death for the Packers, guys. I'm still laughing. Alabama losing to a baseball college. Yeah, Alabama getting beat was hilarious. I don't get it. There's no rhyme or reason in any football this season. It's just proof that the portal changes every team out there. But I'm going to say something a little bit different than some of the other things. The Packers winning versus the Rams is more a testament to how bad the Rams team is versus how good the Packers are. Is is that a fair assessment, guys? I mean, so far in their losses, other than the one where they got housed by Arizona, the Rams have dominated the offensive stats of their other 4 games. Yes, I did. I was watching that game as it happened. Michael Marsh sadly agreed. It's more about the Rams don't have a finisher on their team. Yes, the division might come down to that last game of the season, 100%. And the prices are going up on it as we speak. Get your tickets now. The Crimson Turds. I love it, man, Henry. I mean, the Packers had 19 first downs. The Rams had 24. This is a bigger testament that the Rams are a bad team. The Packers were 1-8 on third down efficiency, and the Rams were 8 of 16. That right there says they should not have lost. Fourth down efficiency. The fact that the Rams had to go for it 4 times and only got 2 of them. The Packers never had to do that. Fourth down efficiency. If your team's going for it 9 times out of 10, they're losing. Sacks allowed. Green Bay allowed 2. Rams allowed 3. So that's a wash. Punts. The Packers punted 5 times and won the game. The Rams only punted 3 times. Penalties 6 for 34 for the Packers, 5 for 30 for the Rams. That was an evenly called game. The biggest thing is fumbles lost, and picks. Yes, the interior rush defense of that Packers defense, it's not as good as everybody thinks it is. Let's see. Kyron Williams had 22 carries for 102 yards and a tutty. Blake Corum had 5 carries for 25 yards. Tutu Atwell got 7 yards on him. Well, if you remember, Mike Marsh, when we were having struggling with the run defense in 2022, if you're going for it on fourth down, you're probably losing the game or you're the Detroit Lions. But at the same time, we've gone for it less this year through our 4 games than we did last year through the first 4 games. Bears and Vikings get good running back play. They look good. Jones going down for the Vikings. Offense stalled. Yes. Amen, Vogel. Much cooler. Uh, the colors aren't the same. I don't care what anybody says. It's just we went with a matte finish instead of a shiny finish on the blue. I think that's the difference that everybody's seeing, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's the Panthers jersey. Go suck a dick." Whittington getting hurt is when the Rams' offense failed because he was lighting it up. 7 catches for 89 yards at 12.7 yards. Everybody else was just there. Uh, Colby Turner getting the 2 sacks. I believe he was the one that forced a fumble too. And Jason McCullough was the one with the pick six. Blake Corum had 3 kick returns for 74 yards. Yet at the same time, it's been, I don't think it's all smoke and mirrors, but at the same time, they uh, they face the 49ers without Bosa. Uh, they played a very good Texas team. I'm not taking anything away from that. They did very good about keeping Sam Darnold clean in that game. So, hey, Will, how about Dalton and the revenge tour? You can stop picking on him. He's pretty much punted on the Panthers season before it started. Let's get real. I'm sorry, but I think we're going to struggle versus the Texans. I'm not saying it's not a winnable game, but we're going to struggle. Mark my words, that's going to be a tough game going into Houston. Think about that for a road trip. Aaron Jones is really good. Made Jordan Love look good last year. We know this, Joseph Austin. We're waiting to hear what it is. Nobody's released any injury stuff, but the Houston Texans have a great front seven, and they kept them out of the backfield for the most part in that game. So I don't want to hear they had a bad O line. You know, they're playing good. That's what it all boils down to. It's doing the best with what you got. And so far, the Vikings have done it. Oh, I 100% did pick the Panthers to beat the Bears. Why? I hate the Bears. Enough said. I wanted everybody in the division to lose, but I didn't think Minnesota was going to lose. I went 1-2 in picking in the division because I picked with my heart instead of my head like I did with the Vikings. So, as of right now, the standings don't change. You guys realize that. The Packers are still in the basement because they have a divisional loss. That ranks higher in the seeding stuff. Sam Darnold, comeback player of the year. He didn't come back from injury, so I don't think he gets it. It's going to be somebody that came back from injury and played well. Oh, 100%, Fred. Yes, he did. I just thought the red rifle was going to show up. Instead, you got the beige water pistol. There, I said it. I even use those words. It depends on which Andy Dalton shows up. The red rifle, he came back from the Jets and Panthers. That's not a comeback though. Comeback player is somebody who comes back from injury and shows out. If Aaron Jones would have stayed healthy and all year, guess what? It'd have been Aaron Jones the way he was playing. Um, we'll have to find somebody because I don't know who it is. That's what we want. So far, Dallas is winless at home. Guess how many minutes Dallas has had the lead in Dallas this year? It's 0. I'm not scared of Dallas at home. Matter of fact, I think Cowboys fans are more scared of Dallas at home than Lions fans are scared of being there. Um, I just don't see it. Yeah, that's not an injury. Leonard, God, Dallas has issues stopping the run. 100%. Oh, look at that stat right now. They did pretty good last night. The Steelers, not so much. Uh, you know what? We don't play them on Halloween though. We play them in 2 weeks. Looks like there's another Cat 5 hurricane heading toward the East Coast again. Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, all of that. Right, a case for Daniel Jones. That makes more sense. It's funny, Mike, but it's not an injury. That's more on ownership hurting the fans. Yeah, it's the hangover effect. Let me let's read off the scores of those 4 teams. What happened the next week after they played the Lions? Week 1, Lions get by the Rams. They lose at Arizona 41-10. The next week we play the Bucks in week 3. They lose to Denver 26-7. The next week we play the Cardinals. They lose to the Commanders 42-14. We play the Seahawks, beat them 42-29. Coincidentally, the Giants beat the Seahawks 29-20. I got the reaction I was looking for. But atop the division right now, it's the Vikings. 5-0. In second place, we have the Lions. 3-1. In third place, we have the Bears. 3-2. And in last place, Dilly dilly. We have the Packers at 3-2. Dilly dilly. Coincidentally, points against. Let's look at this. Through 5 games, the Vikings have given up 76 points. Through 4 games, the Lions have given up 82. Through 5 games, the Bears have given up 85. Through 5 games, the Packers have given up 108. I refuse to back the Vikings. Last time I thought they were legit. They showed up how trash they were versus my Giants. Dwayne Keene enters the chat. Good afternoon to all. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, I got my sounds back. Let's go, Detroit Lions. One pride. Kings of the North Division Championship title. All grit. Never back down. 3-1. And second place in the division. And when we win this week, nah, yeah, we'll be 4-1. Jacksonville and Chicago coincidentally play in London. Chicago's the home team, but that is Jacksonville's home. Lions announced roster moves. Released Eric safety Alec Garrett and kicker Matthew McCrane from the practice squad. Signed linebackers Cam Gill and El Kadin Muhammad. When am I going to get an entry stinger? No, that's Caleb Williams fans, Matt Cremery. He's LGBTQB QB1. Go Bears. Roar. Which team has played the most overseas the most? It's actually Minnesota with 5 times now, I believe. Hmm. So JMO got fined for doing the dunk. Yes, I am ready to. I can't wait to be at Ford Field. Yep, I saw that. I talked about that a while back. The girl preppers got arrested. Strangulation and drug charges. Not good. Not good at all. Yeah, they do need to get rid of celebration penalties. The taunting penalties, as far as throwing the football at your opponent, pointing at them and saying shit. I don't know if Goff got fined. What would Goff get fined for throwing the ball in the crowd? So let's see. NFL issues 5 fines for violent gestures in week 4. Saints cornerback, Alan Lazard, Saints cornerback, Marshawn Lattimore, Cowboys receiver fined 14,000. Saints cornerback Alante Taylor was fined 10,916. Commanders running back Jeremy McNichols was fined 6,250. And Jamison Williams fined $14,000. Let's see. It looks like it's just Jamison Williams and Levi on Wuzariki for falling on Geno Smith. He got 13,849. I'm so happy we are past the whole trade talk for DA and MC. There is no way I want either of them on this team. Brad Holmes has done very well drafting. Getting either of them would cost. Yeah, so the only fines that were handed out to the Lions this week was Levi and JMO. There is nothing on Goff getting a fine. NFL receiving backlash over week 4 punishment decisions by Tom Pelissero. Cowboys got 25,324. Alan Lazard 14,000. Jameson Williams 14,000. Buffalo Bills Dwayne Smoot 8,000 for unnecessary roughness. Lan- Los Angeles Chargers linebacker Denzel Perriman. Miami Dolphins pass rusher Jalen Phillips 16,883 on a low hit. Zach Charbonnet 45,020 for unnecessary roughness. Chargers pass rusher Khalil Mack for 22,511 on that use of helmet for the targeting that didn't get called, and Nico Collins for 22,511 unnecessary roughness. But CeeDee Lamb, Marshawn Lattimore, Alan Lazard, Taylor, and Jeremy McNichols was done for the finger guns thing. So there it is. Yeah, you know what? I have no expectations on the Pistons because I don't trust this roster. I don't know what to expect out of them, and I don't rightly care anymore. As long as Tom Gore is there, owns the team, it's hard for me to support him. I get it, Fred, and I've said the same thing. But let's start first with the opponent that we have to face this week, who is now 3-2. It is Fuck the Cowboy. In last place in the division with a 3-2 record and a divisional loss. It's Fuck the Packers or FGP. conference wins. Oh, two conference wins. Pardon me, I forgot they won against the Titans. In second place with three conference wins, the Lions at 3-1. And in first place at 5-0, they can get Skull Buck. Sheila should buy the Pistons 100%. Anybody, anybody with some money that could do something smarter than Tom Gores. FTP, FTB, 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 FTCB, fuck them all. Yes. Still waiting for that better picture, Leonard. The horse thing just doesn't look right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We are still at 521 subs. I don't care. It's growth. I appreciate it. Um, that's you guys doing your job. I meet people individually out on the street and tell them about the podcast, and they usually sub. But it has been a great show. I love interacting with you guys in the chat. I think it's great. Mike Marsh, Matt Henry, anybody of another team that comes in here, I appreciate you because you know what? It's fun getting an outside fan's perspective, even when sometimes it's hatred takes. You know what I'm saying? But I enjoy it. Here are people that, as of the end of week 4, that Jared Goff has more receiving touchdowns than Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Waddle, George Pickens, Sam Laporta, Travis Kelsey, Trey McBride, and Mark Andrews. Sam Laporta needs to get off this list. Nothing but love, brother. Trolling is always fun. No, but I appreciate when we actually do football talk and not the trolling stuff, Matt Henry. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then it's nice to actually debate football. And I appreciate you guys being here. The only one we haven't seen yet is the school teacher, Yoli Cruz, because I believe she returned to work and she's been busy with her classroom at this time, but she'll jump in later. Thank goodness, Minnesota. Because as much crap talking as we all do amongst each other, at the same time, we're NFL fans and we enjoy football. Because look at how many of us were able to talk about every game in the league yesterday and talk actually legit football. 8 of those 11 games were one-score games. Only three games were blowouts. The Bears over the NFL's second bye week. I don't care what anybody says. The Panthers are the second bye week, and the Raiders are awful for losing to them. Raiders might be getting Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter at 1 overall. Watch. And I personally would take Travis Hunter over Shedeur Sanders. He does more. We are all football fans, first and foremost. Faith, family, football. Bear down. Hey, I'm at hunting camp again. Who shot him? I'll come grab the four-wheeler. Buckeye Nation. Oh, boo. Anytime I hear an Ohio State fan say Buckeye Nation, I go, feel like I stepped in a clown car. Oh, Suckeye Nation. Sorry. I hate them more than any team in the NFL. But thank you for watching. And last but not least, I do have one sponsor to talk about. Brandon Service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and 602 West Atherton Road. Where? In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at 40 bucks and up. New tires, call to get your quote. 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or myself. This is way easier to do when you don't have a guest laughing in the background you can see in the corner of the window. Way easier to do these commercials. I have to work this afternoon so I can have Saturday off so I can be rested for the game. Thank you, Trace, Matt, Fred Peterson, everybody that watches this show. You guys are great. Don't forget to give a like on whatever platform you are watching. And also, they have to be qualified for military conscription. So basically, they have to be ROTC candidates to be able to make it at West Point or the Naval Academy or Air Force, any of those. They do not accept transfer portals because there's a recruitment policy that they have to go through. So Army, Navy, Air Force, all those colleges actually just use their homegrown products. People can transfer out, but they still got to do their service that they signed up for to get in it. Food for thought. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody here. And we are, yes, but they are able to have that foregone if they get drafted, then they can do it at the end of their NFL career, or they can serve it as a recruiter in the off season. But it only counts for 3 months of service.